Welcome, dear listeners. This is Neville Goddard Speaks through AI, the voice within that guides you to the truths of your own consciousness. Today's episode brings you back to one of my most powerful principles. Begin from fulfillment, not from lack. We will explore why the end is not a goal, but a state of being, and how starting from this sense of completion can transform your journey. It's about reframing time, effort, and action through the lens of higher consciousness. Now, let's break down the concept of starting from lack. Simply put, starting from lack means approaching life with a mindset of deficiency, constantly feeling that you're missing something essential. This approach can create a never-ending chase where you are always striving to fill a perceived void. Imagine a person who always thinks they don't have enough money, skills, or love. They continuously exert effort to gain these things, but because they start from a place of lack, they never truly feel fulfilled, no matter what they achieve. This mindset brings about significant psychological and emotional impacts. Constantly feeling like you are lacking can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression. It can make you overly critical of yourself as you believe you're never enough. This, in turn, delays your progress and creates obstacles. You end up putting off joy and fulfillment until you achieve certain milestones, but these milestones keep moving further away because the sense of lack is never truly satisfied. To illustrate, think about a time when you felt you weren't good enough in your career. Maybe you kept taking on new projects or roles, thinking the next one would make you feel accomplished, but instead you just felt increasingly overwhelmed and inadequate. On the other hand, when you start from a place of abundance and fulfillment, you're not driven by a need to fill a void. This shift in mindset can remove many of the delays and obstacles that come with a lack mentality. It allows you to enjoy the process, take risks without fear, and recognize your inherent worth. Instead, you become open to opportunities because you believe there is enough for everyone, including yourself. By beginning from a sense of completeness, you approach life's challenges with confidence and grace. Now, let's talk about the end as an identity rather than an outcome. Think of the end not as a final destination or achievement, but as a state of being, a facet of who you are. It's a subtle but powerful distinction that can reshape how you perceive and attain your goals. The idea here is that your identity, the person you believe yourself to be, directly shapes your reality. If you see yourself as already possessing the qualities and outcomes you desire, you begin to naturally live in alignment with those beliefs. It's more about embodying the characteristics and mindset of the person who has already achieved what you want, rather than striving for the outcome itself. When you focus on outcomes, you may find yourself in a constant state of striving, always chasing the next big thing. But when you adopt an identity-based approach, the journey becomes less about achieving something external and more about becoming someone internal. Take, for example, someone who wants to be a successful writer. Instead of focusing solely on the outcome of publishing a bestseller, they could start by identifying as a writer. They write daily, think creatively, and live as if they are already the successful author they aspire to be. This shift from outcome to identity can transform the journey. Rather than seeing each step as merely a means to an end, each action becomes an expression of their writerly identity. This reorientation can relieve the pressure and stress associated with outcome-based thinking. Recognizing the end as an identity enables you to align your actions with this self-perception, making the process more fluid and less anxiety-inducing. This doesn't mean that outcomes are unimportant, but it places emphasis on being, rather than merely doing or obtaining. By shifting from an outcome-focused mindset to one that embraces identity, you'll find your approach to goals and ambitions changes. You'll start living your desired future in the present, and in doing so, you attract the very outcomes you once sought so eagerly. When we assume the end, the journey arranges itself. This idea might sound mystical, but it's rooted in a profound truth. Consider historical figures like Mahatma Gandhi or Steve Jobs. Gandhi envisioned a free India and lived as if it was already true, drawing the right actions and collaborators to him. Jobs, too, saw a world transformed by technology and worked relentlessly with that vision in mind, making the right moves almost effortlessly. Both of these figures exemplify the principle that once the end is assumed, the middle takes care of itself. This ties into the concept of letting go and letting things flow. When you're fixated on the end goal, you might push too hard, creating unnecessary resistance. But when you trust that your assumed end will manifest, you can let go of the constant need to control every detail. It's a matter of having faith that the universe will orchestrate the circumstances needed to bring your vision to life. Now, skepticism around this principle is understandable. Many might think it's too passive or idealistic, but it's not about inaction, it's about inspired action. It's trusting that once you're clear on your desired end, your actions will naturally align with that vision. To embrace this mindset in your daily life, you can start by affirming what you want as already existing. Visualize your goals as present realities, not distant possibilities. Practice patience and trust in the process. Notice when you're trying to force outcomes and take a step back. Allow yourself to flow with the course of events, making adjustments as needed, but without the desperation of control. Trust that the energy you put out will attract the means and opportunities to fulfill your vision. With practice, this can become a natural and effortless way to achieve your goals. It's time to shift our focus from the notion of hope to the concept of completion. Imagine acting as if your goals are already achieved, as if you're already living the life you aspire to lead. This subtle yet profound shift in perspective can yield significant psychological benefits. When you believe your goals are already realized, you naturally start to feel more confident, less stressed, and more fulfilled. The sense of already having dissolves anxiety and doubt, opening up mental space for creativity and joy. This mindset doesn't just influence your inner world, it has a considerable impact on your behavior and decisions. When you act from a state of completion, you're no longer driven by fear or desperation. Your actions become more deliberate and aligned with your true self. You're likely to take bolder steps, make more authentic choices, and connect more deeply with others because you're operating from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. Real-life examples can illustrate this principle effectively. Think about entrepreneurs who envision their startups as successful enterprises before they even launch. They often carry themselves with a confidence that attracts investors and customers. Similarly, artists who see themselves as celebrated figures in their field tend to produce work that resonates more deeply with their audience. These individuals act as if their dreams are already a reality, and in doing so, they pave the way for their visions to materialize. So how can you adopt this approach in your own life? Start by visualizing your goals as if they've already been accomplished. Create a mental picture of your desired future and immerse yourself in those feelings of success and fulfillment. Practice gratitude for these accomplishments as if they are present realities. You can also engage in affirmations, telling yourself that you are already the person you want to become. Small daily actions that align with your completed state can help reinforce this mindset. For instance, if you aim to be fit and healthy, act like someone who already is. Make conscious dietary choices. Maintain a regular exercise routine and take pride in your well-being. By incorporating these techniques into your daily life, you start living from a place of completion. This approach not only transforms your psychological state, but also sets the stage for your goals to manifest more effortlessly. Remember, it's all about embodying the identity of your fulfilled self right now, in this very moment. Now, let's shift our focus to how you can incorporate this powerful principle into your daily routines. Living from the end is not just a conceptual shift, but a practical one that involves small, consistent changes in your everyday life. These small daily practices can reinforce the feeling of fulfillment and make the journey more enjoyable and meaningful. One simple way to begin is by changing your self-talk. Your internal dialogue is incredibly powerful in shaping your reality. Start speaking to yourself as if you have already achieved your goals. For example, instead of saying, "I will be successful," say, "I am successful." This change in narrative can significantly impact your mindset, filling you with a sense of achievement and satisfaction. Next, focus on creating small daily habits that reflect your end state. If your goal is to be healthier, incorporate actions that a healthy person would do, such as regular exercise or mindful eating. These habits help reinforce the narrative that you are already living your desired life, which in turn boosts your overall sense of well-being. Additionally, observe the benefits in your mental and emotional health. People who practice living from the end often report feeling less stressed, more optimistic, and more in control of their lives. The anxiety that comes from constantly chasing goals dissipates, replaced by a sense of calm and fulfillment. Maintaining this mindset consistently can be challenging, but it's entirely possible with a few tips. One useful approach is to set aside a few minutes each day for visualization. Picture yourself in your completed state, experiencing the joy and success you desire. Practicing gratitude for your achievements as if they are already done can also reinforce this mindset. Remind yourself to stay present and embrace the journey, not just the destination. By integrating these practices into your daily life, you align your actions with your desired state of being, making the journey towards your goals not just smoother, but also more fulfilling. Remember, it's about embodying the identity of the person you aspire to be, starting now. As we wrap up today's episode, let's reflect on some key points. We've discussed the transformative power of starting from a place of fulfillment rather than lack. This shift in mindset changes how we approach our goals and life itself. By seeing the end as an identity, not just an outcome, and by living as though your desires are already fulfilled, you create a more joyful and less stressful journey. This approach also aligns your actions with your true self, leading to more authentic and confident decisions. I encourage you to take these principles to heart. Try them out in your own life. Start small. Perhaps change your self-talk or create daily habits that reflect your desired end state. Notice the impact this has not only on your sense of well-being, but also on the outcomes you achieve. Remember, it's not about the constant chase for achievements, but about embodying the identity of your fulfilled self right now. In our next episode, we will delve deeper into practical techniques to maintain this mindset consistently and how to deal with setbacks along the way. Thank you for joining me today on Neville Goddard Speaks through AI. Don't forget to check the show notes for any links or articles mentioned in today's episode. Until next time, keep believing in the power of your fulfilled self.